In the harsh sands of Tatooine, a world of endless dunes and scorching heat, a boy dreamed of the stars. His name was Anakin Skywalker, and his dreams were as vast as the galaxy itself. Anakin Skywalker was no ordinary child. From a young age, he displayed exceptional skills, building droids and pod racers with an ingenuity that belied his years. His hands, small and calloused from hard work, crafted machines that amazed even the most seasoned mechanics. His eyes, bright with hope and determination, looked beyond the twin suns of Tatooine, yearning for a life of adventure and purpose. He was a slave, yes, bound by chains of circumstance, but his spirit soared free, unshackled by the limitations of his reality. The Force flowed through him, raw and untamed, a powerful current waiting to be harnessed. Qui-Gon Jinn, a wise and perceptive Jedi Master, saw it first. He recognized the extraordinary potential within the boy. The Jedi Master sensed that Anakin was special, a child unlike any other, with a destiny that could change the galaxy. Anakin's midi-chlorian count was off the charts, a clear indication of his strong connection to the Force. The boy could be the one to bring balance to the Force, a prophecy long awaited by the Jedi. But with great power comes great risk. The path ahead was fraught with danger and uncertainty. The Jedi Council sensed it. They hesitated, wary of the potential darkness that could arise from such immense power. Yet Anakin's heart burned with determination. He was resolute in his desire to become a Jedi Knight, to use his gifts for good. He wanted to be a Jedi, to rise above his circumstances and make a difference in the galaxy. His mother, Shmi, encouraged him, knowing that his destiny lay beyond the sands of Tatooine. With a heavy heart, she let him go. Anakin left Tatooine behind, stepping into a galaxy filled with endless possibilities and challenges. The galaxy awaited the promise of Anakin Skywalker. The Jedi Order buzzed with whispers. A prophecy, ancient and cryptic, spoke of a chosen one. Many believed Anakin was that chosen one. His potential was undeniable. Master Yoda sensed it, Mace Windu feared it, Obi-Wan Kenobi embraced it. Anakin's training began in earnest. He excelled beyond all expectations. His power grew by leaps and bounds. Yet shadows lurked beneath the surface. Anakin struggled with attachment. He missed his mother deeply. The Jedi Code felt like a cage to his passionate spirit. The burden of the prophecy weighed heavily on young shoulders. Some Jedi looked at him with awe, others with suspicion. The pressure mounted. Anakin's confidence grew, but so did his frustration. Beneath Anakin's confident exterior, doubts festered. He was powerful, yes, but was he good enough? The Jedi praised his skills, yet they held him back. He felt their mistrust. It gnawed at him. Anakin craved recognition. He hungered for power, not for its own sake, but to protect those he loved. The Jedi teachings of detachment felt hollow. Nightmares plagued his sleep. Visions of his mother in pain tormented him. Anakin felt helpless. The Force showed him suffering, but he couldn't act. The conflict tore at his soul. He was a Jedi, sworn to help others, but he couldn't even save the one who mattered most. Anger simmered beneath the surface. Resentment took root in his heart. Palpatine saw the cracks in Anakin's armor. The Force screamed a warning. Anakin's dreams turned to nightmares. He saw his mother, Shmi, in agony. The visions were relentless. Anakin couldn't ignore them any longer. Against the Jedi Code, he returned to Tatooine. Hope and fear warred in his heart. He prayed he wasn't too late, but fate is cruel. Anakin found his mother broken and dying. Tusken Raiders had taken her. They had tortured her for weeks. Shmi lived just long enough to see her son one last time. She died in his arms. Something snapped inside Anakin. Grief turned to rage. The dark side surged through him like a tidal wave. What followed was a massacre. Anakin slaughtered the entire Tusken village. His lightsaber carved a path of vengeance. Love bloomed in the face of impending war. Amidst the chaos and uncertainty, their hearts found solace in each other. Anakin and Padme's feelings could no longer be denied. Their connection was undeniable, a bond that grew stronger with each passing day. Their passion burned bright and fierce. It was a love that defied logic, a flame that refused to be extinguished by the harsh realities surrounding them. It defied the Jedi Code. It challenged political propriety. But they didn't care. Their love was worth any risk, any consequence. In a secret ceremony on Naboo, they pledged their hearts to each other. The vows they exchanged were sacred, binding them in a union that was both beautiful and forbidden. It was a moment of pure joy, a fleeting instance where the weight of the galaxy seemed to lift, leaving only their love to shine through. A bright light in gathering darkness, their love was a beacon, a source of hope in a time of despair. Yet their union was built on shaky ground. The secrecy that protected them also threatened to tear them apart. Secrecy and lies became their constant companions. Every whispered word, every stolen glance was a reminder of the fragile nature of their love. Anakin lived a double life. By day, he was a Jedi Knight, upholding the values of the Order. By night, he was a devoted husband, cherishing every moment with Padme. He was a Jedi, sworn to let go of attachment. The teachings of the Order demanded that he forsake personal connections for the greater good. He was also a husband, deeply in love. His heart ached with the desire to be with Padme openly, to share their love with the world. The conflict tore at him. The duality of his existence was a constant struggle, pulling him in opposite directions. He wanted to shout his love from the rooftops, to declare to the galaxy that Padme was his and he was hers. Instead, he had to hide it like a shameful secret. Padme struggled too. The weight of their hidden marriage bore heavily on her shoulders. She feared discovery would end her career. The stakes were high, and the consequences of their love being revealed were dire. Yet, despite the risks, their love endured, a testament to the strength of their bond. The galaxy erupted into chaos. The Clone Wars began. Anakin found himself on the front lines. He became a hero, a legend. The Holonet sang his praises. The hero with no fear, they called him. Anakin reveled in it. Finally, he had the recognition he craved. His power grew with each battle. He saved countless lives, but he also took many. War changed Anakin. It hardened him. The Jedi became generals. Peacekeepers turned into soldiers. Anakin excelled in this new role. His aggressive tactics won victories, but they also raised eyebrows. He pushed boundaries. He took risks. The ends justified the means in his mind. The war fed his darker impulses. In the shadows, Darth Sidious wove his web. His every move was shrouded in secrecy, his intentions hidden behind a facade of benevolence. The galaxy saw him as a wise and just leader, but beneath that exterior lay a master manipulator. Palpatine played the long game. He was patient, methodical, and relentless. He knew that to turn Anakin Skywalker to the dark side, he had to be subtle, planting seeds of doubt and fear over time. He had groomed Anakin for years. From the moment they met, Palpatine saw the potential in the young Jedi. He saw the power, the ambition, and the vulnerability. He knew that Anakin's desire for recognition and his fear of loss could be exploited. The Sith Lord saw the young Jedi's potential. He nurtured Anakin's doubts. He stoked his fears. Every word was calculated. He spoke of the Jedi's limitations, their inability to understand Anakin's true potential. He made Anakin question his place within the Order. Every gesture designed to draw Anakin closer. Palpatine's demeanor was always warm and inviting, a stark contrast to the often stern and distant Jedi Masters. He offered a sense of camaraderie and trust that Anakin desperately sought. Palpatine became a father figure, a trusted mentor. He provided the guidance and approval that Anakin craved, filling the void left by the loss of his mother and the absence of a father figure in his life. He offered the approval Anakin craved. Every nod, every word of encouragement reinforced their bond. Palpatine made Anakin feel valued and understood, something he rarely felt from the Jedi Council. The Supreme Chancellor's influence grew subtly. In the Senate, his power was almost absolute. He manipulated political decisions, swaying opinions and orchestrating events to his advantage, all while maintaining the appearance of a dedicated public servant. He planted seeds of distrust. Palpatine's words made Anakin question the motives of the Jedi Council. He suggested that they were holding him back, that they feared his power and potential. This created a rift between Anakin and the Jedi, isolating him further. The Jedi were holding Anakin back, he suggested. They feared his power. Palpatine implied that the Jedi were envious of Anakin's abilities and that they sought to control him rather than nurture his growth. Palpatine hinted at secrets the Jedi kept. He spoke of hidden knowledge and forbidden powers, suggesting that the Jedi were not as transparent and noble as they appeared. This further fueled Anakin's growing mistrust. He spoke of abilities some considered unnatural. Palpatine's tales of the dark side's power were tantalizing. He described abilities that could save lives, prevent death, and grant immense power, all of which appealed to Anakin's deepest desires. The dark side of the Force, he said, was a pathway to many abilities that the Jedi would never teach. Palpatine painted the dark side as a source of ultimate power and freedom, a way to achieve everything Anakin ever wanted. Anakin listened, curious and conflicted. The promise of power was tempting, but his loyalty to the Jedi and his sense of right and wrong held him back. He was torn between the teachings of the Jedi and the allure of the dark side. The temptation of power grew stronger. As Palpatine's influence over Anakin increased, so did Anakin's internal struggle. The more he listened, the more he was drawn to the dark side's promises. As the war reached its climax, Palpatine's machinations accelerated. He engineered crises, manipulated events, and created chaos, all to further his ultimate goal of absolute power. His sinister grin revealed the satisfaction he took in watching his plans unfold perfectly. Nightmares haunted Anakin once more. This time it was Padme he saw dying. The visions were vivid, terrifying. He saw her screaming in childbirth. He felt her life slipping away. The dreams became an obsession. Anakin couldn't lose her, not like he lost his mother. He grew desperate. The Jedi offered no solutions. Their platitudes about accepting death rang hollow. Anakin's search for answers led him down dark paths. He scoured the Jedi archives. He sought out ancient holocrons. Nothing gave him what he needed. The fear of losing Padme consumed him. It clouded his judgment. It made him reckless. Anakin knew he was slipping, but he couldn't stop. Saving Padme became his sole focus. The moment of truth arrived with shocking swiftness. Mace Windu confronted Palpatine. The Sith Lord was revealed. Anakin had to choose the Jedi way or the promise of saving Padme. In a moment of desperate madness, he chose. Mace Windu fell. The Jedi Master's death sealed Anakin's fate. There was no turning back now. Darth Sidious had won. Anakin Skywalker was no more. Darth Vader was born. What followed was a nightmare made real. Order 66 was given. Across the galaxy, clone troopers turned on their Jedi generals. Lightsabers fell silent. The temple burned. Vader led the charge, his blue blade, cutting down those he once called friends. Younglings cowered before him. They found no mercy.